and you're watching Pro Teaches News. Ooh, is somebody talking about pros? Not that kind of pro. See you there.
Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches News. Today I have with me Pika.
Hey.
And today we're going over a classic. One that, well, I've had Mark wait on twice, so you guys are well aware of this. The one that, alongside Marvel's, really kicked off Alex Ross's career, Kingdom Come. Have you ever read this? What?
Look, I'm literally holding my copy.
Oh, sorry. I have to actually look at the camera. I'm looking at the screenshot. So, yeah. Classic, right? What was the last time you read it?
Must have been a long time ago.
Long enough that you probably don't remember much, right?
Maybe the broad strokes and maybe the strong points, but not the distances between the points.
Yep. But yeah, so this is a classic, and this also really established stuff with Superman. And funny thing is, funny thing about this book is that this was all Alex Ross's idea. Mark was brought in, and he had problems because he did not like where they were going with Superman. And basically, he had to be talked to by one of his friends and how to look at Superman, because he did not like this idea that Superman would just quit. So he had to think of it a different way, and eventually this is what we've got.
Yeah.
Man, it's a classic. It is such a classic. It is set up so much. This and Dark Knight Returns would keep getting so many callbacks.
It was... Oh, okay, the people behind it. Yeah, Didio was in husband. Tomasi was that far away.
Tomasi is the editor on this, I believe.
Yeah, assistant editor of the original mini.
Yeah, and this is before, like you said, before Didio or anyone.
Yeah, Paul Levitz was still the president and publisher.
Exactly. But yeah, there were
Rich Johnson.
Yep.
Okay, we're starting.
And thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. And there followed hail and fire mingled with blood. There fell a great star from heaven, burning as if it were a lamp. And I beheld and heard an angel saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to inhabitants of the earth. And it's in the revelation of St. John, all of it. I could go on. There's more. That's enough, Wesley. I see things, Norman. Divine prophecy. Nightmares, Wesley. You've had them before. That's why you're here. Not nightmares, Pastor. Visions. Wesley, they're not. 7 thunders will utter their voices, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Babylon falls, Norman. Be the one who listens to me. The sands run out, and I can do nothing but wait in my own filth for sleep to finally claim me. Someone must ask. Geez, Mr. Dodds, Doctor! Wesley, please, take comfort. There is peace awaiting. For me, not for you. Hear me, Norman. I owe you much. Yet I have nothing to leave you, save insight. And I will give power unto 2 witnesses. Be my witness, Pastor. Read the word of God. Wesley, it's all there. The end is near. Read the book. Read! First coronations is, now this I say, present that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
No niin, sieltä se tuli taas. There it goes again.
Come on.
Has anyone brought this up with the DC, with the
I don't know.
of it on Twitter or some other customer service?
There was more, but Leslie never heard it. In the end, he was listening to another voice from Lord knows where. My service was brief, his mourners few. My wife and I met Wesley in his twilight and had been the last of his friends. He came to our church questioning what there was to believe in these days. I wish now I had better answers. 3 of us shared many a dinner in this apartment. Ellen, God rest her soul, would in one moment tease Wesley mercilessly about living in the past, and the next beg him to spin another tale of his. How did she put it? His glory days. Sometimes I wish I made more time to listen with her. Wes's stories were melodies of wonder. Back then, it seemed his dreams were of yesterdays, not tomorrows, of times bright, not barbaric. Once upon a time, he said he called himself the Sandman. He was a hero, superhero. You'll excuse the expression. Before the bitterness overcame him, Wesley and I would walk, pick our way through the city. For hours, he'd bemoan the passing of things like Olympic Games and Nobel Prizes. Sometimes he'd ambush complete strangers and ask them how much they missed the concept of human achievement. I don't know what surprises me more, the oddity of the question or the growing number of people who seemed to know what he was talking about. I tried to diffuse him. I joked that he was grousing like any old codger, unable to appreciate the new generation. He wouldn't laugh. Wesley insisted that human initiative began to erode the day people asked a new breed to face the future for them. He mocked their worst, these newcomers, and spoke instead of legends gone, of costumes champions who had, in his day, inspired human achievement, not belittled it. He swore he'd never forget the world they came from. He wanted them to be remembered. He wanted them to live again. Good afternoon, citizen. How may I serve you? Oh, so what do you think? Not a bad job on the tights, huh? They tell me I make a pretty good green. What you call them? An arrow. Oh, hello, citizens. How may I serve you? I'll have an American way on white. I want to speak to the manager. Tell Booster Gold that B's here to see him. And give me a black condor straight up. And for the lady, damn it, somebody's run off with the handcuff arrow again. So get another one out of the back. The Sandman had gone to his grave without one grain of face in the future. And the saddest part was, he was far from alone. With each passing day, hope for tomorrow has become more and more precious a commodity among everyday folks. Still, I try to keep the faith and hew to the scripture. For under the word of God, the meek would someday inherit the earth. Someday. But God never accounted for the mighty. Wow! The world Wesley left is filled not with his heroes, but with their children and grandchildren. The number and the nameless thousands, progeny of the past, inspired by the legend of those who came before, if not the morals. They no longer fight for the right. They fight simply to fight. Their only foe is each other. The superhumans boast that they all but eliminate the supervillains of yesteryear. Small comfort. They move freely through the streets, through the world. They are challenged, but unopposed. They are, after all, our protectors. Jesus! I tell myself that this too shall pass, that humans still have a chance to reclaim a world rightfully theirs while it still exists, that in the face of superhuman might and superhuman odds, time has not yet run out for humanity. Something in Kansas. I am wrong. And there followed hail and fire mingled with blood. And the third part of the trees was burnt upon, and all green grass was burnt up. And he opened the bottomless pit, and the sun and air were darkened. Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. He forgive me. This isn't what I wanted to. Forgive me. As they leave, they shy from my gaze. My congregation has trusted me for years, and today I betrayed them. In mourning, unable even to fathom the news that has stopped the world, they came to me seeking encouragement that I cannot give. The news. Wesley knew. The vision he had, the prophecy, the dreams. I thought he was insane. But if he was, and so now am I. His dreams are now mine, and they are visions of utter despondence. He wanted someone to act, but what can anyone do? Kansas improved it. Thanks to the superhumans, the end is near, and the word of God so very far away.
Okay, now it's your chance to show me how your spectre sounds.
Yep. I have need of you, Norman McKay. And now the visions talk to me. I have gone mad. Hardly. In fact, your sanity may be paramount to mankind's survival. Even as I stand before you, an act of unspeakable evil has begun to manifest. Armageddon is fast approaching. But you know this. You have the dreams. You see into my mind, my soul. You are an angel of a sort. A higher power has charged me with the task of punishing those responsible for this coming evil. Long ago, I would have judged swiftly, with clarity, but my faculties are not what they once were. In order to carry out my task, I must anchor myself to a human soul who seeks justice. But I don't, you will. If this is true, if this is not some new delusion, then why me? Because I came too late in service of the dreamer, Wesley Dodds. He saw tomorrow with a power he did not understand, but passed to you nonetheless. But now your dreams will guide us both. In order to fulfill my mission, we must both witness the events that will lead to Armageddon. Come with me. I cannot simply leave. My congregation depends on me. They look to me for what? Very well, but explain this to me. If you are truly a being of great power, how is it you can find no ways to avert this catastrophe? That is not my task. Once, Earth boasted other saviors who might have stemmed the tide of destruction. But as you will see, they are no longer the solution. They are in many ways the problem. Where are we? What do you see? I see a Midwestern farmland, but that's not possible. There is no need to lower your voice. We cannot be seen or heard, not even by him. The farmer looks familiar. He should, though he's not of this world. He came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. And look, it's the Legion of Super Pets. Crypto. Comment.
Okay, that's something I never noticed. Yeah, okay.
Well, at least that's some of them.
Some. That would be way too early to have Batcow before Grant Morrison created it.
Right. You know it. Now, how's my Spectre voice?
Kind of works, at least in the passive sense.
Yeah.
It remains to be until
he
I
never
hear
really
you
gets rageful during this, except at one point.
In this one, with the crisis, it's gonna be another thing. I still need to also figure out how to do the echoey effect on a DaVinci Resolve.
Yep. Hold on, just one second.
Cool.
So just typing out to something. Okay, anyway, you know him by a name he has not used in 10 years. Superman, not since he began his self-exile. I remember he left Metropolis. Something happened. A trial. I can't remember what was involved, but I recall a sense of inevitability. Obviously, whatever happened drove him here, but my God, he is so alone. Not always. Hello, Clark. Cal, Diana, haven't seen you in months. What brings you to the farm? The vain hope that you're not still here. These are my roots. You can't live forever in solitude. I'm Superman. I can do anything. except apparently face your fear. I'm not afraid of him. I didn't mean him. I meant, Cal, you've lost so much since I first met you. Earthlings die. You know that. They were your parents, Cal, and she was your wife. Don't call them Earthlings. Hear me out. I have work to do, Diana. Here things grow. Really? Think again. You're spooking the animals. At least I provoked. You're spooking the animals. At least I provoked a reaction to something. Listen to me, damn it. I've come with news from the outside. Bad news. It's shaking the world. Cal, he's out of control. I tried to tell them that 10 years ago, and they didn't listen. I know. Stop punishing them. I'm not interested. I see. Do you live in nothing but lies? Ah! Come on.
Page 30.
Here we go. Here are 2 words. See if they sound familiar. Truth and justice. You can't have completely forgotten them. Just see it for yourself. See what he let happen to the world. That's all I ask. And steel yourself. On. Magog, inconceivable tragedy. Magog. And fight began in the American city of St. Louis, where Magog and his Justice Battalion descended upon the was of Parasite. Battle raged to the wheat fields of Kansas. Witness characterized the Parasite as fearful. Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Claims his pleas for mercy were ignored. Speculate that tragedy might have been averted had Magog relented. Onlookers staggered and yet not surprised by the savagery of Magog's attack. Magog, one of the new breeds of heroes known to many as the one responsible for Superman's farewell to Parasite, obviously panicked by the beating. What's he? He surrender refused. Parasite unleashed a desperate salvo towards the nuclear-powered Captain Atom. These final words belong to WKEY's on-site cameraman. Oh my God! The Parasite split Captain Atom open. He split him up. Jeez.
Ew.
Hey, wow, right?
Yeah. That reminds me of the whole thing of sending that many people against one enemy.
I know, but to be fair, they clearly wanted something to entertain them because they're bored.
Mm.
It was stated that earlier, dude.
Yeah,
Early reports.
It is why superheroes usually have secret identities to have civilian downtime.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons why. And why you don't have their numbers explode. Early reports indicate immediate casualties, numbering close to millions as the dying atoms and radioactive energy swept hundreds of kilometers, rendering the entire state of Kansas, as well as Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri, an irradiated wasteland. Though Magog's comrades have since prevented further spread of the nuclear blast, the total loss of America's breadbasket, the sterilization of its agrarian culture has thrown world economy into near collapse in the face of global famine. Magog, along with the metal man Alloy, the sole survivors of the incident, could not be reached for off. Cap, please, our generation takes its lead from you. We always have. You must face this. If you don't, neither will the rest of us. And it just goes on. Cal, there's nothing I can do from here.
Alloy?
Yeah, that's the merger of the metal men.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen that.
Yeah, I was.
A lot of these concepts came from this, like Alloy.
Yeah.
And female judo master.
Huh. Yo.
Like, go back to your island, Diana. You're safe there. Neither will the rest of us. Who? Those who, a decade previous, felt the crush of Superman's greatest and most necessary failing. His inability to perceive himself as the inspiration he is. The shock. What?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Guessing the shock of seeing Superman suddenly abandon his never-ending battle took an immeasurable toll on his contemporaries, his peers. Some, their spirits unstripped, chose Superman's path and retired. Others, unable to turn their backs completely on the world, they know, continue to use their special abilities to champion order, though in some most clandestine ways. In the time of Superman's absence, Keystone City had become a utopia, a protectorate relentlessly patrolled by a gale force once human. No one sees him, no one hears him. He runs a lovely race, but all who lives here have felt his presence. He is everywhere at once, a guardian angel who rights even the most harmless of wrongs with lightning speed. He lived between the ticks of a second. He is the Flash, which, basically showing what Wally would have to give up to protect just Keystone City.
Yeah.
That's the only way for him to do it, to have no life.
What happened to Linda?
And their kids. That's more explained in the kingdom.
Okay, until we get there.
Another of yesterday's guardians has since claimed the Pacific Northwest as his ire. Some call him a savior, others an environmental terrorist. He is feared unjustly by those who would deprive the beasts and birds of their sanctuary. His name is Hawkman.
Qatar or Carter?
Or don't think it really matters there. Oh, come on! Usually that's worked.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And yet another takes his refuge high above the Earth's surface, his self-made Emerald City twinkling in the night sky like a verdant star. There, Green Lantern commands a lonely throne, ever vigilant, ever waiting for signs of threats extraterrestrial. He waits still. Alan Scott.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the whole, because this came between Emerald Twilight and Green Lantern Rebirth, so can't use the corpse lanterns. Then again, why not Kyle?
Yeah, because it's in the future and who knows. And plus also, Alex Ross is always a fan of the Golden Age.
Oh, okay.
The gods of yesteryear no longer walk among the humans, Norman McKay. Instead, cued by Superman's surrender, they journey apart, divorced from the common men whom they once so gladly served. They have lost themselves in ancient civilizations and future times. They have left humanity to its own fate, including Supergirl and Supergirl.
Yeah, she went to the future with
a version of Superboy.
Yeah.
Right. And what of those who weren't gods? I seem to remember another, one who made his home in Gotham City. What has become of the Batman? Ah, Batman. Yeah. Whoa! Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Batman has his city under control. That's all? That's what you have to show me? That disturbs you? Yes! You're an angel! That makes you a messenger of hope! At no time did I promise you hope. A greater power sent you. Your very existence is a testimony to faith. You mean that all you have to tell me is that those who could save us won't? And the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up, and the sun and the air were darkened. That's what Wesley saw. The destruction of Kansas was truly the beginning of the end. For those who call themselves heroes, who share a silent guilt, look around us, and they're worse than before. They're not acting out of boredom. They're acting with abandon. And before Kansas, they at least had some grip of responsibility. Now they haven't even that. Nothing matters. They're following Magog's reckless lead, and they're out of control. Wonder Woman's right. The madness will go on and on. Do you understand? If any of us are to survive, any of us, now more than ever, we need hope. And suddenly there was a wind. No, not a wind, a blur of motion, bending the steel of their weapons and changing the very course of the mighty river below. even before the bystanders freed themselves from the cable car. They knew. We all did. We knew and remembered. Look! Up in the sky! Oh! That is epic. That is classic.
And this was the first time this Superman had the red
gray hair and the black and the weird and the black S.
Yeah. I wonder if right there on that one moment they were both Spectre and Pastor McCoy or Norman, they were audible there, and Superman could have heard him calling for hope.
I don't know. It's always possible.
Nice headcanon to have.
Yep. He had not turned his back on us. He stands in the sky, faith rewarded. He returned and... dear God, the threat of Armageddon hasn't ended. It's just begun. That classic start, wouldn't you say?
Ooh. Good. Slow. Slow build up explanation. World building,
but you needed it.
Yeah, and having the point of view character also helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Having the point of view character definitely helps out. Having McKay here, because otherwise this would just go right over us if we were to just observe it all. You know,
go from one point to the other point to the next point and say, "Oh."
Exactly. Yep. And I saw the 7 angels, which stood before God, and another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. And the angel took the censer and filled it with the fire of the altar. And the 7 angels prepared themselves to sound. Angels. No, I'm with the angel. Aren't I? Where have you taken me? I no longer have any sense of time or place. Time has little meaning where we walk. Norman McKay. We walk and we move freely from moment to moment. Guided by your visions, I show you only that which we must see. Are you disoriented? Enormously. I wasn't really asleep, and yet I was dreaming again. Were you? And this is my country. For years, the American Mando and his Minutemen has protected the U.S. from foreign threats, only to have overlooked the most insidious menace of all, the poor, tired, huddled masses camping on our shores, begging citizenship. You immigrants dare expect sanctuary? America's not as big as it used to be. For God's sakes, Kansas is gone. We can't house you. We can't even feed you. But still, you force yourselves on us. Well, no more. Today, the American Mando declares war on the wretched refuse. At the command of the Brain Trust, my Minutemen will cleanse America's shores. We will defend the nation against... Defend yourself, American Mando. The land is ours to guard. America, love it or leave it. Good God, the bystanders. These aren't heroes. They're madmen. They're ready to battle over territory without bothering to care who's caught between them. Someone should do something. And I'm pretty sure this makes it clear that they are not in the plane to be seen or heard. Would you agree with that?
In this moment, probably they aren't.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, indeed. Wow, look at that one. The Ray, Wonder Woman, Hawkman, Superman, Power Woman, Green Lantern, and Flash.
This could be, might as well, this is one of those arts, like when I did the Hush video, I saw that you could repurpose it as a background for your phone.
Exactly. Just a sec. Okay, by indeed. Angels. No, not angels. Gods themselves. Superman has returned. In doing so, drawing from seclusion the titans of yesteryear. Their emerald flashes and scarlet strobes lighting the darkest of the day. Again, just look at all this. Alex Ross's artwork is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, and not heroes are probably coordinating their movements.
Yep.
And
look at all the flashes, like woo doo 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 doo.
Yeah, it's clearly hand drawn, it's drawn with pencils and then painted over, but it looks like photographs.
It really does. It truly does. Yes, photographs. That's the best way to look at it. Because you do know he traces over photographs, right?
In some
like
cases,
but in this case, he actually gets people to model and pose as he takes the photos. So he's not doing it on pre-established artwork or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, and they're like, no, the Minutemen are distracted. We're losing our mental league. Then concentrate. Command them to fire at anything that moves. Tell them, clunk. Dick Grayson as Red Robin. Before, I guess, giving that to Tim was a smart move.
Yes, it truly was.
Because Tim was just as worthy of it.
Yeah, but that one reminds me. When I earlier last year, later last year, when I was doing that Tim Drake retrospective for Jay Heath's channel, I went through the Bendis Young Justice series, well, the one where they were going from one Earth to another, and they were on this Earth before going to Earth 3, and they pretty much saw that Red Robin costume, and not to mention, if they established that Tim's memories had been somewhat restored there, he could have recognized, hey, I used to wear that costume. So why the hell did we get Drake instead of Red Robin back?
Well, at least Drake didn't last long.
Small silver lining.
Yep. But one over the thunder of panic. I hear names unfamiliar. Hawkman, Robin, the Ray. They swept their foes aside like Tempest while Wonder Woman protects the innocents. And with the final red glare, the fight is over. Below, the bystanders buzz with gratitude. The reporters with questions. And really, they haven't seen you in years, hell, a lifetime. Where have you been all this story of the century? Wait, where are they going? Quick, radio Midtown, let them know. They're heading for the UN building.
Yeah, UN building, which
looks like the
Hall of Justice.
Where is it?
Can't help you there. That it's the trade only has most pages.
You heard me. Hold page 1. Second coming of Superman making a statement. Everyone, shut up, will you? When this guy talks, we listen. Good afternoon. Many of you may remember us. We have been away for a while. That was our mistake. In our absence, a new breed of metahuman have arisen. A vast phalanx of self-styled heroes, unwilling to preserve life or defend the defenseless. A legion of vigilantes who have perverted their great power, and have forsworn the responsibilities due them. We have returned to teach them the meaning of truth and justice. Together, we will guide this new breed with wisdom, and if necessary, with force. Above all, we will restore order. We will make things right again. Will there be others? Our ranks will grow. Are you prepared to shut down those who don't honor your principles? I don't anticipate anyone acting without our sanction. And anyone, would that include Magog? Superman, are you truly prepared to confront Magog in light of what has gone before? Magog will be dealt with. If he surfaces, given the consequences of his actions in Kansas, that seems unlikely. But what about responsible for millions? Are other heroes afraid of him really solving the problem? That is all. It's certainly enough for one day, and certainly enough for one day. Ladies and gentlemen of the delegation, is anyone here delighted with what we've just heard? No. Why am I not surprised? There's
Wormwood.
No. What?
Wormwood.
No. A validation of fear. Long have these mortals suspected that they are no longer the captains of industry, of humanity's destiny. Their suspicions have just been confirmed. And you said you're here to judge a coming evil. Superman is somehow entwined in this sin. But what exactly is it? The answer to that question remains locked in the prophetic dreams, McKay. What do you see? What do you hear? A jumble of images, a cacophony of apocalyptic verse. Still makes so little sense. Superman said his league will grow. Who else will he call to his side? We shall see. Bruce, I know you're down here. You can't hide from me. I bow to your superior wisdom. After all, you know all about hiding, don't you, Clark? Don't call me Clark. What happened to the manor? Once my identity got exposed, Bane and Two-Face happened to it. Doesn't matter. I have everything I need down here. Besides, it's not as if anyone intrudes on me. That hardly ever happens. Clark. That's right. Someone told me your knights became free once genocide blew up Arkham Asylum and everyone in it, not to mention Bellevue Prison and Blackgate. Not actions I'd condone, but tell me the thought of it doesn't give your invulnerable skin a little tingle. I don't have that darker side. Tell that to your tailor. Lacks a new look for you. Bruce, the League needs you. I'm busy. 25 and 32, resume patrol. Too busy to help save the world? The crisis at hand isn't new, Clark. Where have you been? Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps I should ask Magog. Friction has been building to a head for years, Clark. The metahuman population boomed while you were gone. Once RNA folks decided you and I were too gentle and old-fashioned to face the challenge of the 21st century, they wanted their heroes stronger and more ruthless. Be careful what you will wish for. Maneuver 12. Right now, the metahumans have the keys to Earth's kingdom. Wrestling controls a delicate matter. It requires a finesse and meticulous, careful planning against those enemies more hidden, but it can be done. Without, I might add, Superman the Justice League booming into town, punching now, asking questions later. And Dick doesn't see it that way. You got him to reclaim the Robin mantle. That's what to sway me? Try harder. He and I never did see completely eye to eye. I have my own controls in place, thank you. They may be slower and more methodical than yours, but they get results. You used to brag the Metropolis was a utopia next to Gotham. Now who has the utopia? Some paradise. From what I can see, Gotham's nearly a police state. You always favored scaring people into obeying the laws. But this, you're willing to turn ordinary citizens into a superstitious, cowardly lot? They'll fear me more than they'll trust you. I don't trust you. After all, you left. I stayed. We're not limited to Gotham, Clark. We've built a network that extends from here all the way through Star City. I have allies, human allies, a little more in tune within your friends to humanity's needs. We don't want to rule the world. We just want to straighten it out. Our way by ourselves. And then you're sure you won't join me? Hey, for a man who can hear clouds scrape together, you don't listen very well. The only thing I wonder about your down and dirty, quick and fast totalitarian solution is whether I'd be the first to be reformed by your new regime. Goodbye, Clark. Funny thing is, Batman's 100% right. When you think about it.
Yeah, looking at the whole reformed by the regime.
Yep. He knew we were here. I could feel his x-rays. Hell, I'm probably sterile now. Let it go, love. Who? Oliver Queen, Dino Lance, Ted Cord, Urban Warriors. Actually, Ollie, given the low level of rotogens involved, I calculate nothing intrinsically harmful about. Stop making the world safe for science, Beetle. Let an old man be paranoid. And of course, if they're really after you, it ain't paranoia. Is it, Bats? In time, the League will do serious damage. If they're allowed into our arena, the world is doomed. Super has no idea what he's really up against. Fortunately, we have our own team to call into play. You sound as if you have a plan. And how soon they forget. Does Batman ever not have a plan? We've got contacts across the world. It's time we drew that web together. So they have Jade, Wildcat, the son of Wildcat, Fate, so many others. By the way, yeah, that's
Jade had I trying to recall the Justice the JSA series. Jade had a son. Or did he have a son? Or did they introduce him to have a son?
Wait, who?
Ted Grant. The one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is where he was first introduced, and then later brought in with in Justice Society.
Yeah. And Liam is also there. And
were they ever friends? Superman, Batman? The way they bickered is hard to tell. Great minds do not always think alike. In their days, they were the truest representatives of their kind. One, the zenith of human fortitude and ambition. Other, the pinnacle of otherworldly power. Otherworldly, of course, Superman's an alien, an accident of birth. For most of his life, he walked among the humans as well as above them. He remained tethered to human concerns through the love of an earthly woman until her life was stolen. And Wonder Woman, eternal princess of the Amazons. She is both an ambassador of peace and a master of warfare. Oh, sorry, like Superman, a paradox. Then all that. Of all Superman's lieutenants, it is she who bears watching most closely. And so, as hours fall into days, we bear silent witness to Superman's squad while they silent skirmishes after skirmishes. Whenever possible, Superman negotiates peace. Whenever impossible, he enforces it at every turn, transforming enemies into allies. All the while, the world, hungry for hope, gradually surrenders its fear to the skies. So with a cadence almost military, the League marches from shore to shore. Together, they act as an unstoppable unit, breaking rank. Only occasionally. Don't worry, ma'am. I'll handle this. My car. Diana, take a break. They're not evil. They're just misguided. How badly? If they want to act like warriors, then I'll show them war. You're right. They seem to have learned little regard for human life. And there is nothing more sacred than that. I said 2 sugars, you ham. Feel nauseated, and not for the first time. Still immortal, and sorry, immortal habits die hard. That's Vandal Savage, and I forget who the other one is.
I think they are named each when it comes.
We do get the names, but yeah, that is Savage.
Yeah.
Yep. For every moment of triumph we witness, we are confronted with an equally act of nihilistic horror. I do my best to stay as impassive as my guide, and yet in this one murderous moment, I swear I feel him bristle. I just had her trained. Not very well. Hello, loser. Mr. Savage, I see you brought King with you. Perhaps, King,
Royal Flushgang King.
Yeah, that's what I thought. With you. Perhaps he'd like to meet everyone. Come, join us. We call ourselves Mankind Liberation Front. You know, Ibn al-Xfu, heir to Ra's al Ghul's empire. That's the Damien XB.
Or the prototype Damien.
Proto-Damien, yes. This is Lord Naga, who is Cobra. Selena Kyle, who is Catwoman. And her companion, Edward Nygma, who is the Riddler, who should be reminded that he is here solely as a grace to Miss Kyle. Simmer down, Eddie. Gentlemen, I need a stats report. And where do we stand with the medical attention and disaster relief for the Kansas victim? Delayed perhaps for weeks. Splendid. Tech dispersal this quarter, Naga. We have integrated another 6 vigilantes. Given the Arkham and Bell Reef survivors were outfitted and renamed, we are now responsible for 8% of the superhero population. Excellent. Selena, what's the outlook on? Well, pardon me for questioning, but your impending public service, we're arming metahumans? Wouldn't all that serve to make the world a worse place to be? Where does the Mankind Liberation part come in? Did I miss something? Selena, for your own good, keep your guests in line. Remember, dear, curiosity killed the cat. Actually, Lucer, I had a similar concern. May I assume that the MLF works then to raise the stakes rather than lower them? In a matter of speaking, no pain, no gain. Our objective is to heighten the tension between the humans and metahumans, to bring it to a head so that humans have no choice but to reclaim the reins of world power. Regardless of the cost, there will be war, bloodshed, but in the end, mankind will once again rule. Mankind, as that would translate as, you guys. Wow, when is a villain not a villain? When he labors for a greater good, Nygma. which brings us to our new problem. Resurfaced Justice League, and how their untimely arrival has turned our 10-year agenda into a 10-year stratagem. I've never dreamed that they'd return, not a million years. Nevertheless, the gods have stepped down from Olympus, and frankly, I see several ways to turn their arrival to our advantage. In fact, by entering into a certain alliance, I can guarantee a chance to hasten the current crisis to its end by exasperating it. And in the meantime, we have nothing to fear from the League, not even from Superman. He will not touch me. He will not. He cannot. In fact, I've got the most marvelous anti-Superman plan. Isn't that right, boy? Absolutely, Mr. Luther. Who? The captain of the lightning and the thunder. Come, we have spent too much time wallowing in sin. And there are other players who demand our attention. Look, pull my finger. Boom! Good Lord! These kids, they're monsters, beasts. They will be tamed. Ah!
I'm looking at these cameos and here the Lobo.
Yep, Fat Lobo.
And
now let's look back here. Fat Lobo, so many others, new and old. I see this supposed to be Natasha, I think. No, wait, no, that's Blackhawk.
And
that's a new lady Blackhawk.
Yeah, then there's
Dead Man.
He's still floating around. Creeper and
Old Man Creeper.
Yeah, I read some trivia. There's supposed to also be Rorschach. I think Mark said something that they added a Rorschach. Yep, there. Previous page on the left.
Yep, just a sec.
Yeah, Rorschach is the previous page, right somewhere under Lobo on the other panel.
But yeah, this doesn't help. Jump! Party's over. That is a great Superman image.
Yeah, no more. Yeah. So better.
Ooh, I'm shaking. Ain't it past your bedtime, Grandpa? What's the S stand for? Senile. Oh, you wanna know who that is? Marvin of from the Super Friends.
Yeah.
Marvin and Wendy.
Huh.
You can tell by the M on his chest.
Okay, is this I'll take that to the
kind of, which is funny because he's been a big fan. He's a fan of the Super Friends. Hold on. This guy.
Huh.
From the old Super Friends?
Yeah. So,
hostility. Like, will you, Adam Smasher, will you shut up? Thank you. I'm here because the world's in bad shape. We have a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it in. I want you to join the League, willingly. Before you do, you should know that we have rules. Heroes act in a certain way. This isn't it. Those of you who take up with us willingly will be expected to bear as responsible as you are powerful. You'll be expected to behave better. Those who don't will be dealt with. Our job is thankless, but we do what has to be done. Right now, we're humanity's only hope. Be heroes. Holy God, he was here. How'd he find? Are you in? I feel like I was asked to become the 13th and disciple. What do you think? I thought my dad was full of crap for being drafted by that guy. But now, God, I'd follow that man to apocalypse. He's right, The League knows the way. Tink! So you heard Big Blue's pitch. Now for the Democratic response. Ha!
Yeah, that's something Oliver would say.
Yep. Hold on, I just realized something. Hold on.
What?
There's supposed to be added pages.
I'm
trying to remember what. There's supposed to be added pages in the trade version, I mean.
This is I have the trade version.
Oh, yeah, but I'm trying to find what those were specifically, the added pages. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because the trade, so hold on. Let me check Read All Comics for that, because I just realized there's some stuff I don't want to miss.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I mean, you can look too. You can look too.
Put that over there.
Hold on, I just want to make sure this is a complete one because I just realized, yeah, that's the one downside with this being the individual issues, you know. Yeah, it just dawned on me. Oh, wait a second. As soon as she said apocalypse, I realized, oh right, there's the additional scene with on apocalypse.
Isn't that later?
Well, I know that's later, but I'm just saying that reminded me in general. So I'm just trying to see if there's any others. That's all. You know, from what we've passed already.
Okay, let's see. This is.
Nope, nothing so far. Times shift, armies build, and the voice of Wesley Dodd murmurs gently to me. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald. A quote from Revelation. The fact he's taking a lot from Revelation. A lot of these quotes are right from Revelation, dude.
Yeah. Right from
Revelation. Armageddon. Superman's troops soon wield power enough to shack the earth. Will they have enough power to save it? And if so, from what? America heals, but America is not the world. Stronger in number, the League began to confront anarchy on a global scale. As on their own home territory, Superman's army begins to meet with success more infrequently. Most metahumans fall in the line at the mere sight of the man from Krypton. Many do not. Clearly, each rebellion further frustrates him. Social government was never Superman's arena. Is it possible that the constant pressure thrust upon him as an emerging world leader could bend even a man of steel to the breaking point? Ah! Oh, they do include the pages here.
Huh.
Look.
Yeah, but that's later. A later scene.
No, I know, but it's still in this issue.
Hold on. Yeah, that's the scene from Apocalypse. It's
oh yeah, yeah. I'm looking at it. I'm looking on the scans. It is at this point. But the fact they included that because that was made intentionally for the you know.
Okay, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yep. On. This one's thick. Okay, come on, let's get back to that. Meanwhile, those closest to Superman began to whisper another question. In all these missions, they ask, how is it they have yet to unearth Magog? With his super senses, Superman should be able to find anyone. If he's looking, it's not supposed to be this way. What? We shouldn't have to fight this hard. You said it yourself, Cal. We do what we have to do, and yet we're ending up with more captives than converts. What do we do with those who refuse to see the light? I have a suggestion. Follow me. And quite the kingdom, Arthur, and architecture worthy of Paradise Island, ever bit as beautiful as any place above the sea. More, the tide of time has been kind to you, princess. You have not aged a day since we last met. And would that the outside world had fared so well, Arthur, but time above have grown hard and harsh. The seas provide the perfect buffer between your world and ours. Between that and bearing that in mind, we have come to ask permission to create here an underwater penal colony for rebellious metahumans. What? Don't insult me by acting disingenuous, Superman. It's not as if we are unused to being burdened with the surface world's and refuse. Permission denied. And Arthur, if you could only see the trouble we're in up there, join us, stand aside as you did in your youth. A faint an invitation. Though I miss the camaraderie, you know, I was never comfortable being your Aquaman. I have long since ceded my name and role to my protege. I understand many of our old friends have followed suit. My subjects need me, Princess. You have hundreds of champions to defend a few land masses. I protect the other 70% of the world. And there's only one of me. I have responsibilities you cannot even dream of. You, Princess, surely understand how uneasy it lies the head that wears the crown. I no longer have my royal station, Arthur. No. Yes. Recently, my Amazon sisters decreed that I have failed at my mission as an ambassador. That I had not made the world a better place. They stripped me of my royalty and of my heritage. I am no longer welcome on Paradise Island. I am sorry, but it has no bearing on my decision. Then resume your solitude, Arthur. Relish your world for as long as it lasts. This totally changes her reasons. Wouldn't you agree? Once you hear this stuff, you realize, oh, that's why she's doing this. How long were you planning on keeping that from me? Which? The prison or my loss? Both. Diana, you have changed, and I don't like what you're asking me to do. I'm not used to forcing others to follow my lead. Now I'm supposed to jail those who won't, to act as judge and jury against their own kind? Okay, I will say this. Wonder Woman having an influence on him here makes sense. Because he doesn't have Lois anymore. He needs someone.
Yeah.
That's a fascist. And I do see the parallels with Injustice. This is obvious. But this is the only parallel.
And
would you agree with that? This is the only parallel.
Even then, the Injustice Wonder Woman was also not pushed into this far. She still had the Amazon. She could always go back to.
Yeah, but not here. That's a fascistic line, Diana. Then get ready to cross it. We are at war, Cal, and we will take prisoners. We will have to. They're not our kind. We're protectors of humanity. They are barely human. Is this you talking, Diana? I sense so much anger in you. Not anger, Cal. Passion. Now, by the way, that's Roy. He looks just like Ollie.
Yeah.
And that's Donna, of course.
Even when they're not even related, it's just.
Yep.
Maybe Roy decided to
grow the beard and all that. Excuse us, but we thought you'd want to know. Know what? It's Magog, Superman. We found him. Gently. No! Ah! I do like that.
Gently carrying one hand like this. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's trying to rebuild it. That's what he said. Gently. I mean, at least with Superman, his aura goes around it. Like, what are you doing back in Kansas, Magog? I saw the news footage of your last mission, and believe me, it will be your last. Well. Look who it is. Metropolis Milquetoast. I never left, Blue Boy. I never thought you'd go this far over the top. You led 6 unstable powerhouses against one pathetic parasite, an overkill gesture that murdered 1 million people. And what are you going to do about it? Go ahead, take a swing, punish me, try to lock me away if you got the guts. I'm not afraid of you, Magog. And, get out of town. No, wait, you already did that. Actually, you got a lot of nerve blaming me. This was your fault. My fault? Think back. You're the one who let himself get strung up by the man on the street. Hey, Vox Populi man. Out with the old and in with the new. Brighter, faster, meaner. Next year's model. That's what the hungry crowd always wants. Had to have been eating at you for a while before. I even came into town. Hell, they were calling you old-fashioned when I was a teenager. World's oldest Boy Scout. That you wouldn't change. You wouldn't get in step. You wouldn't flex with the times. Remember the Daily Planet? And asked if that's why the Joker got so many notches on the belt when he blew into our town? How many did he take out? Just that last time. 92 men and 1 woman. Like, hell, we both tore up the city looking for that bastard. I really thought you or Batman would get to him first. Even I almost missed him. Almost. Damn! I'll never forget the look on your face when you saw me standing over that smoking creep. Now, just to make clear, the Thy Kingdom Come stuff in JSA would later reveal Lois did not die by the gas.
Yeah, I remember also that.
She got hit in the head so hard.
Yeah, she had a rebreather and Joker killed her with a.
Yeah, Joker killed her with that. And it was but she was hurt so badly that he couldn't move her without killing her faster. So basically, she was,
But either way, still, the Injustice Superman was manipulated into pretty much doing what the Joker did himself.
And Superman just showed up too late.
Yeah, I can see why people keep comparing these two.
Yep, but I'll never forget the look on your face when you saw me standing over that smoking creep all the way to jail. I thought, what a sap, what an old woman. Blue boy's dragging me in for having stones he doesn't. Times are tough. Joker been deserving worse than cuffs for years, so I took it on myself to lay him down. I can't be judged for that. Magog acquitted it. I was a hero, but you just wouldn't roll with it. You had to get in a last shot and piss me off. I wanted that torch passed. I wanted to cement my claim as Metropolis new number one. I asked you for a title bout between you and me, and I won by default when you flew off with your cape between your legs. I never got a piece of you, and now you're right here, right where I want you. The way you took off, I always thought you were afraid of me. A lot of people did, but that wasn't it. You were afraid that I was the man of tomorrow. You were afraid of the future I represented. Well, look around you. This is what I represent. You must be so proud. Proud? God damn you! Proud of being the man of tomorrow? Your fault, you bastard. The world changed, but you wouldn't. So they chose me. They chose the man who would kill the man who wouldn't. And now they're dead. A million ghosts punish me. Lock me away. Kill me. Just make the ghosts go away. We are at war. I feel bad for Magog. He thought he wanted it, and he was given something he should never have had. Would you agree with it?
Yeah, I can agree. Also, you can see why Superman would have still wanted to drag him to the court and do that.
Yeah, because he killed.
We talked about this with Joker's last laugh also kind of back then too. Like, if the Joker had been caught and trialed.
You mean the devil, whatever, right?
Oh yeah, the devil. Yeah, the devil.
Yeah.
That one. If the Joker had been caught and trialed for off the stage, out of the or doing
like in Metropolis, he might have had a better chance.
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, and then they would have had a better chance of actually. The Joker would have been trialed. He would have been
executed. Killing Lois Lane and all Daily Planet. I think that would have been a bridge too far for many.
Yeah, that would have. That would have actually had to go getting the Joker to get the death penalty, and that would have set up another example. A
better example that the system works.
Exactly.
Which is something, believe it or not, that is something that later that Mark Waid would exemplify in his World Finest stuff. That Magog just keeps going for the easy route.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't know if you read that, but that was something that was shown. That David.
I read it about some kinds of.
Yeah, but
in the final issue of the Kingdom Come when Darkseid showed up to take, and then Magog killed the Boy Thunder, killed in some and then they called out to going the easy way.
Yeah, war. An art that was one finishing stroke I finally mastered. But to what ultimate truth? Apocalypse is still helpless, with those who cannot, will not help themselves. I like how you say how the fathers and the sons become the father. Often I have considered uprooting the more apparent lowly, exiling them to the distant orb. But it seems unconscionable to inflict such grievous wounds on another planet. I'm sure you agree. Ah! Far be it from me to argue with the Lord of Apocalypse. I'm impressed. Ages calm your legendary temper. You seem fully in control. You're more like Darkseid than ever, Orion. So it was to be written to be. Our story has always been a generational one. It is said that many men eventually become their fathers. I wouldn't know. I'd heard you finally usurped Darkseid's throne. I was curious to see what you accomplished in his stead. Not much. Frankly, Orion, of all the old allies I encountered, you disappoint me the most. You're a god. You have a power to change your world or to destroy it. You would be surprised. I fear at how easily one can lead to the other. I thought I had transformed Apocalypse by finally overthrowing Darkseid's despotic rule. Imagine the horror of learning that to the lowlies ground under Darkseid's heel since Apocalypse was young, liberty was every bit as paralyzing as fascism. They rushed to elect a new ruler. They chose me. Such was my reward. So bring them to my realm, Superman. Bring to me those whose presence on your world you consider too threatening. They cannot possibly be more challenging to me than my own subjects. Deportation was never my intent. I have no desire to see anyone removed from their homeworld. Given the nature of my own struggle, I had hoped that Orion, the dog of war, could lend some wisdom, but I was mistaken. I could learn nothing from you. That hardly matters. If this is about emancipating a world from fears, a tyrannical shackles, it isn't my help you need. Never enough to free your bodies. You must first free your mind. We will show you that a slaughterhouse is not a home. It's not a home when you reach out and touch freedom. You tower as tall as Orion. He fears you, for you can dream of things beyond him. I see a vision plan complete with visual aids. I always suspected you two would end up as teachers. Big Barda and scot-free.
Huh.
So much better for what I have in mind, because I need a very special kind of help. Are you and Barda in? Don't say in. It's too confusing. You'll need a security force in the facility. I'll put together the best. Boom! There you are, Superman. I came to retrieve you from Orion's lair, but you are gone. Hurry! Can I keep the boom tube open much longer? I see you're recruiting. You were counting on us to work alongside Avia. I was told that your story has always been a generational one. Let's go! Time falls, and a new structure rises from the ashen fields of Kansas. An invitation of necessity, a stronghold of justice. It seems unwise to contain so much power and fury under one roof, and yet, what other choice does Superman have? It is a question he will ask himself 100 times in the days to come. Meanwhile, an ungodly fellowship has begun to manifest, one that may change all that we know thus far. Observe. Congratulate our friend and I'm not going to say that name, for negotiating the one union that may yet make the world safe for mankind. Friends, I present to you our newest ally in the war against the gods, the Batman. They've begun to build a gulag. You know this. I know that I don't want to spend my remaining days there. I can hardly believe you're here. If I'd known that a common enemy would bring us together, I'd have invented one years ago. This must be killing you. Given the circumstances, what choice do I have but to throw in with Lex Luthor? Alone, neither you nor I can expect victory. But together, we can curtail the Justice League once and for all. So how is this building?
It is building. There's always this kind of, thanks to the visions of McCoy and Spectre, you can see that it's kind of like a race. You can see you can see the finish line, but there are fog covered.
I know. Oh, by the way, that's
on the way.
That's Steel there taking more of a Batman look. There's so many others, but there's Leanne as the new Red Era or Speedy.
No, and that's probably Ray.
Yep. Oh, there's Donna Troy's son, which is sad because he's dead.
Yeah, that's.
And he
a lot of characters who are alive here are.
Yep.
And Zatanna's, but that's Zatanna's younger brother or the son.
And he cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roars. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. Another vision. They're coming more and more quickly. Dreams of Armageddon. Certainly, you must share them. How else do you explain the road we walk? How else do you explain? Just want to make sure Yeah, we're gonna start getting more dialogue, but things are. Trust me, I think the artwork's gonna more and more take up the space. Thankfully.
Yeah.
But anyway, how else do you unerringly lead us to the tableau and realities beyond my dreams? I see many things, Norman McKay, but the future is not one of them. Sorry, but the future is not one of them. I do not lead you. You lead me inexorably to an imminent hour when judgment must be passed and justice served. Only you foresee the road to Ragnarok. And with that pronouncement, we began once more to wander the earth like spirits. Time ebbs and flows around us. Many of the places I see are new and strange. Others, come on, are all too familiar. Now, funny, the Gulag looks like the Legion of Doom's headquarters.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom. Not now. Okay. Once the Kansas wastelands were stripped of radiation, Superman's penitentiary was fastly completed. The Gulag was built to imprison the deadliest and most uncontrollable of the superhumans. Thanks to its vast size, it was intended to house prisoners for months to come. Within 2 weeks of its construction, it's filled beyond capacity. Dang! To know it's that, overflooded, that tells you just how bad things have gotten.
Oh, you're talking to the Family Guy. I just withdraw that.
Yep.
The Simpsons movie reference.
Yep. But I just realized that, because if you see about it, these are all meant to represent the 90s image here characters. And given how many they just chugged out, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. If the allegory is that, then yeah, I can see it.
Because how many characters did Rob Liefeld alone chug out and create that he ended up never doing anything else with?
Yeah, with that foresight, you could probably call out that these are more or less pattern screamers.
Yeah. Still, the world holds things in no small part to the Gulag's architect and warden. Once the greatest escape artist of 3 worlds, Scot-Free is an unparalleled master of bonds and traps. Under his command, guards stand ever vigilant over the belligerent and the repentant. Again, you do feel bad for Magog, don't you?
Considering how it is, however.
What?
Yeah,
like he wanted it, but he didn't deserve it, and the way it was just thrust on him was unearned.
Yeah. In hindsight, there he gets some reminders of the main universe, Batman and Superman, when they eventually meet in the future.
Yep.
Some years down the line.
They are gathered here for what purpose? So they can brood? No. So they can learn. It's really very simple. In this world, there is right and there is wrong. Oh, yeah? And that distinction is not difficult to make. So where does robbing us of our freedom fall? Oh, great and powerful Oz? Please understand our intent. None of you are here for punishment. You're here for education. We're here because of forced busings, you stupid recording. How many different ways can you spin the Pollyanna crap? The powers we have, the things we do, they're meant to inspire ordinary citizens, not intimidate them, not terrify them. Day after day, talks to us like we're the bad guys. Who bagged Eclipso, huh? Who toasted Ra's al Ghul? Guys like us, that's who. We saved lives, man. We cannot act as judge and jury. We adhere to a moral code based on the preservation of life. Easy for him to say, did he ever have to fight the Slaughter Brigade? Man of tomorrow, my ass. And try man of the 1950s. Times change, but he still expects everyone to live up to some cobweb code. He sticks us in here just because we don't kiss babies and salute the friggin' flag. I'm sick of this medieval thinking. His code's just as empty as his stupid hologram. Okay. I have to wonder what the Slaughter Brigade is for him to be feeling that way. You know what I mean?
It's kind of something that actually is to think about. Even also some modern stories that they try to criticize how
the
villains actually also like.
Oh yeah,
we just have seen heroes fighting some minor villains, but the villains are not that very much present in shoulder to be properly opposed. And why the hell does the microphone volume keep going down all the time?
What? Why is what?
Sorry, my microphone's volume keeps going down on itself.
Sorry you feel that way. Oh, Adam Strange. That must be why you opened fire in the middle of a human crowd. Why you thought it was acceptable to endanger an entire cable car full of unarmed citizens. I'm sure Von Bach would agree with you. We brought him in for killing opponents who had already surrendered. And even as a race, I feel the air electrify. The prisoners are packed too closely. Nerves are raw. Tempers flare. Schweinhund! Conflicts escalate. Damn! Von Bach, are you all right, man? Thank you. Have a lot to learn, Von Bach. Get to it. Kindron Kashima. Yep, whatever. I can't speak that.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things aren't all black and white. Like, I get where some of these guys are feeling the way, and then you have others who are just monsters.
Yeah.
Like Von Bach is just kill to kill.
Yeah.
But that other guy, I have a feeling that he's just an edgelord who means well. He might not look it.
It makes also kind of like what kind of training some of these characters?
None.
If some, no trainings. They just got their powers and just
and without they didn't have anyone there. They didn't have anyone there to guide them. Like, excellent. The man by Lucer's side. You called him Captain of the Lightning. Captain Marvel? Yes. His role in this war remains a mystery. Even to the old wizard who first called down the thunder for him. Even now, the wizard pleads for understanding from his brethren, the galactic lords and immortals, who are the quintessence, the first introduction of the quintessence. Brilliant idea! Would you agree? This was a brilliant idea.
Yeah, it was up with the wizard Shazam, Ganthet,
Highfather. Yep. So many. Phantom Stranger, Zeus. So yeah, please. I could not and love him more and no more than were he my son, and he is lost. We must help him. We must help them all. No more Shazam, or the millennia. We have often lent our guidance and wisdom to the Earthling, only to watch them march proudly towards disaster. Ganseth is not wrong. The humans are not our responsibility. They are but motes in the cosmos, an insignificant factor in the grand life equation. How interesting. How interesting that you insist upon this, that you are also concerned with how unconcerned you should act. Tell me, do you then dwell on the Earth's problems because you are so cosmically bored, or is it just possible that you congregate in order to prevent each other from interfering? Clearly, their conversation was not meant for my ears. My senses assaulted, I turn away, only to face the dead man. Hiya! Oh, you can see me, even though I've got no eyes. Pretty wild, huh? Name's Boston. I'm a ghost. Nice to meet you. Now this is supposed to be how Boston looks when his mask is removed.
Yeah, because he had because it was his costume most of the time. But it was a mask.
Yeah, so the void is your realm? Mine? Nah, I just enjoy bopping around the realm plane, internal ethereal plane from time to time. I always liked to travel. Used to be with the circus. I was a daredevil trapeze jockey. Now I'm the agent of a higher power. Can you imagine? Wait, who am I talking to? Of course you can. No offense, Padre. I'm pastor. And no, frankly, I can't imagine any of this. Since seminary, I have been more philosopher than priest. In my church, I preach that God is not a person, but rather a force with many names, like Rama Kusha, for instance, one that motivates us to master our own fate. I never believed in the old world notion of assigning a physical face to that force or its agents. But now, tell me, is the Spectre truly an angel? Oh, absolutely! An angel of death. Don't get me wrong, he used to be a normal Joe, a cop as I recall, but from the moment he got tapped by the big G to be an avenging spirit, and he started to lose touch with his human side. A long time ago, he was a superhero himself. Since then, he's gotten weirder and weirder. And now, want to tell you the truth? You can't be sure whose side he'll take in any of this. Capiche? And speak of the angel. Good talking with you, Padre. And don't be in any hurry. But when you get to the other side someday, look me up. I know. So then I flew him up there, up to about here. And I said, "Do you see the beautiful blue marble, Brainiac? That's my world. Return it now." Did he hear you? Actually, not in airless space. No, but believe me, he got the message. NORAD was back online within 5 minutes. So did you destroy him? Just short of. Buried some of his circuitry on Saturn, some on Argo, and the rest inside of a Pulitzer and Clark Kent's apartment. Oh, that's funny. You never told me that story before. God, those were better days. Easier anyway. Diana, what's this about being ousted by your own people? When did this happen? Shortly after you went into seclusion. For years, I had been the Amazon's ambassador to the outside world. My mission was to spread a message of peace and order. As the world continued to darken, there was some doubt as to how well I had done my job. My Amazon sisters, my own mother, came to suggest that I had perhaps failed. They actually put me on trial. I pled my case, but in the end, they decided that I had indeed not changed man's world, that it had changed me. They stripped me of my royalty and my heritage.
While you're getting that up, there's this point that they're having space rebreathers and a helmet. I would like to say that there's a compromise between Superman and they are capable of like breathing in space, but
right.
You know the old adage: in space, no one can hear you scream, and if no one can hear you scream, these are not for survival, but for communication purposes.
Yep. There may have been some justice in their decision. Do you believe that? The Amazons believe in peace through strength. Too often, I relied on an olive branch and not a cestus. I always admired your gentility. It didn't get the job done. That's why, again, when people have made her more of the warrior, they missed the point of this. She did it because she's doing it here because she's overreacting. She's going too far the other direction.
Äärestä laitaan, as it would be said in Finnish.
Yep. You did your best. Then why isn't the world better? There are degrees. How many degrees were you interested in hearing about when you retired? You said it yourself once, Cal. We are warriors. We have an obligation to wage combat. Look, they're holding the lasso. Given who we are, Diana, given the power we possess, we have greater obligation to keep that peace. Only the weak succumb to brutality. All these are visions. Those things never happen. They could have. And really, that's the point, isn't it? Superhumans can do anything they please. They can maim, they can kill, and they've made the world a very ugly place. Fortunately, you don't have to take part in their world, do you? No! That's right. You're right where I order you to stay. Your old friend Savannah saw to that, didn't he? Here, let me get that. Ingenious little bugger, Savannah was. Do you suppose that when they coined the term mad scientist, they were thinking of him? Actually, that is true! Savannah was one of the first mad scientists, and he was the first one to ever say, curses, foiled again.
Yeah.
People did not know that Savannah was the one who first coined that phrase. Well, rest in peace, Savannah. Science marches on. The worm crawls in, the worm crawls out. Oh, no. There'll be no retreat. Not yet. I still have a very special job for you. Batman, there you are. Well, what do you think? I think that you authorized triple shifts without telling me. Strength is in numbers. It took you a long time, but you finally learned that. Magnificent, aren't they? Between your design and my production, the Justice League doesn't stand a prayer of survival. Soon, we'll be able to crush them with an unyielding legion of steel soldiers. I can feel your pulse throb from here. Looser and looser. Don't double-cross me. Our objective is world order, not world domination. Don't forget your agenda. Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. And ridding the world of the League is a necessary evil. Mankind was never meant to bow before a Kryptonian and his ilk. My thoughts exactly. Once Superman and his toadies are out of the way, the Mankind Liberation Front can seize power. With your little robobats, keeping the peace, return the reins of civilization to the humans. Sounds like a plan. Then again, so does this. Can't we just drop a K-bomb on Big Blue's spit curl? Sadly, Mr. Queen, kryptonite no longer packs the punch it did in the good old days, as I learned the hard way. Chalk it up to the solar radiation Superman's cells have been guzzling all those years. He's at the height of his invulnerability, which means always absorbing, never using. That's why.
That's the decade, the whole decade.
10 years, over a decade of just absorbing, but using very little.
Yeah, it's kind of like somewhat similar to, or a more passive way than what Grant Morrison did in All-Star Superman.
Yeah. But once once war begun, Batman, can your players advance to the front lines if necessary? We'll be in place, Luthor. Obviously, we haven't the raw might to match Superman's army, but we have the fire of youth on our side. The sons and daughters of many of the Leaguers have come to lend their support, and they're prepared to fight tooth and nail with the generation that sired them. Aren't all young people, son? Throwing it right back in his face. They're prepared to strike when I give the signal. I assume your tactical strategy somehow involves the gulag. Why, yes. Details. Soon enough. In fact, I'm awaiting word myself. Now, if you'll excuse me, I know what you're thinking. I do. I'm aware of that, old friend. But let's not do this telepathically. Hey, you won't stay focused. Talk to me. Just relax and talk. Who, in this form and every man, someone who so desperately longed to understand the human psyche that he finally, in one terrible moment, opened his mind to the world and was forever shattered by its thoughts. He was once a Martian champion. Now he's not much of anything. John, can you verify? I will attempt. Too much noise! Too much! Shh, it's okay. What now? I want to stay. I want to matter. You don't think I'll help. John, you fought the good fight longer than any of us. You've done all that's ever been asked of you. And today was no exception. You paid your dues, old friend. Go home and rest. Dream of red sands and silent stars. Aw, and that's true when you take into account that when he was John Jones detective.
Sad.
Hold on.
One way also to pretty much acknowledge that, Martian Manhunter was still here, but this is why we're not going to use him for the rest of the story.
Captain Marvel mills about, his eerie grin cavering a swath through Batman's ranks. May I? Oh, I mean, sure. Help yourself. Looking at her, the quiver, or the crossbow. No one breathes in his presence. What is he thinking, they wonder? What will he do next? To them, he is a shark traveling for prawn. I have heard him call the world's mightiest mortal. No doubt, the intimidation, his mere... And the funny thing is, that's Billy! That's not Shazam! Billy has grown up into the spitting image.
Yeah, it's kind of...
I mean, it makes sense.
Back then... Was it Jeff Johns or someone else who made it so that either they changed me or it's Billy's image of or mental image of his father?
Oh, that was Jeff Johns, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, no doubt. Clearly, these heroes regard him with a growing unease, accounting only one other. Germany is all clear. Check. Check. Oh, female. Oh, that's doll woman. That's doll woman on his shoulder.
Huh. Yeah.
Austria looks clear. At Italy, check. Many activity has been abolished in Europe. Moving to Africa, drop the billing on you, but put Power Woman and me both in the body cast. Listen, I'm with you. I was all for the gulag, but throwing Von Bach into that cauldron is like poking a hydrogen balloon with a match. Superman's prison is pressure cooker enough as it is. He thinks he can get everyone to have to behave like they did when times were brighter, but even he can't turn back the clock. So tell him, me, Roy, you tell him. Oh, it's the Titans. See?
Yeah.
Yep. You tell him. Look at him. Can't a man with telescopic vision see the world around him? Shh, he can hear you. What happened next is for the first time my own fault. I've overheard Flash described as a man too fast to be contained by one plane of existence. Apparently, entire strata of realities are open now. So settled on my role as a spirit that I have forgotten that fact. Like, who are you? Where did you come from? Answer me, damn it! Why are you here? Well, my name is Norman McKay, and I'm supposed to. This isn't going to make any. Please understand, a catastrophe comes. I see armies race against you, and I warn you. Warn me? He glares with his x-ray vision, looking for meaning to my babble. As my mouth goes dry, I can find no words, save for those I've heard myself. And he does the words for revelation.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I don't know who you are or where you've come from, but your words are meaningless. Armageddon is hardly on our calendar. These are grim days, but we have matters fully under. Holy God! Word just came from the gulag. There's a riot going on. The prisoners have gone berserk.
And it's what Dick was said. Holy.
Yep, I know. Then here's what we Flash, Green Lantern, power women to the gulag now. Take control through peaceful means, by whatever means necessary. I want a status report as soon as possible. Ray and Phobos, be ready to follow if called. You are finished here. No, not quite. Right. Where did the old man go? Who was he? Hey, I don't know. Why did you undermine my authority? Why did I saw a crisis. I reacted in a competent, unqualified manner. The others need to see that sort of authority from someone. Pull yourself together. We're overdue for a meeting with the UN. They can't help but know about the gulag by now. And I guarantee you they're wondering when we started making up our own laws. Let's go. We have to convince them that we're the good guys. I'm flattered the Justice League and the mighty Justice League have finally deemed the human race worthy of conversation. There's no need for sarcasm, Secretary General. Forgive me. We're simply no longer accustomed to being advised or consulted. Imagine a surprise, for instance, to learn that the center of the U.S. now harbors a metahuman prison. You insist on that, hard as it is to believe, it poses no prevailing danger, that those incarcerated are fully docile and eager to acclimate. Is that true, Superman? Not entirely. The gulag is a work in progress. The League must find a way to guide those who insist upon working against the common good. I admit to some danger, but I choose to put the renegades together and we can monitor them and teach them. Inside a giant powder keg, Superman, the confidence and hope your reemergence engineered is fast eroding. Global economy is still catastrophic. World trauma staggering. We will not risk another Kansas. I can promise you that. Meaning that we must begin to decide some things for ourselves. Good day. Stop looking so stunned. Do you honestly believe they'll sit back and let us solve the problem at our leisure? They're scared, and their fears may soon trump our solutions. We have to act. Cal, whether you like it or not, you're a world leader, and the League is getting tired of waiting for you to adjust that role. As far as I'm concerned, if the situation of the gulag prisoners gets one micron worse, the League will be forced to take a final decisive action. Good news! The moment has come to begin our final strike. The gulag is in turmoil. The inmates are, dare I say it, revolting. Superman's prison has become a cauldron of hate and chaos. That's our cue to deploy our Steel Legion. But not before someone tips that scalding cauldron right onto the Justice League. Someone I've been saving for just such a task. Me, but all of our talks. It is as I've always said. The superhumans are evil. You can't argue with that. But only you can ensure their destruction. I'm ordering you to demolish the gulag so as prisoners roam free and angry, and easily eradicated in a war that no one can win. Save us. No. I do it, and worry no more about losing control. You won't. I've seen to it that. Go ahead. tumble down the walls of Jericho. I insist. Uh-oh. I do know the next one will go by much faster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more an action sequence there.
Yep.
That's 31.
Yep. Well, pay him! Hello, Billy. He's not. You're kidding me. All this time we've been in mortal fear of Billy Batson. Because they thought he was Shazam this whole time. I suspected for a while. And John's telepathic probe confirmed. It seems Marvel's dual identities are in quite a bit of mental conflict. All these years, as Batson grew to manhood, Luthor kept him in check by turning him into a stew of schizophrenic and psychoses. But our goals, my only goal in allying with you was to learn your connection to Captain Marvel. In this entire global conflict, he was the wild card, and I hate wild cards. You double-crossed me! I learned from you. And then may we assume you've given the signal? Absolutely. Strike! Ted, follow Luthor. Don't let him get damn. What the? No! Billy, stop. You don't have to run anymore. I figured out what Luthor did to you. Captain Marvel retired. Easily, didn't he, Billy? Of all of us, he had the hardest time adapting to retired early, sorry. And all the time adapted to the grim new world around him. One sad day, he spoke his magic word for the last time and vanished inside a scared little boy. Then Luthor found you, took you under his wing, told you the same thing the world was telling you. The superheroes are monsters, terrible, repulsive beasts. And he never...
Is Bruce carrying a gun?
I think that's supposed to be a trank gun.
Huh.
Unless you forget it that you had one hiding deep inside of you. Don't think like that, Billy. He twisted your brain around in that insanity. The worms, they're engineered to secrete certain chemicals. Billy or Marvel, either one, they eat away at your mind. They're driving you mad, Billy. Don't let that happen. The world's depending on you. You can fight. Billy, look out! Billy, no, stay calm. I can help. Stay calm. Shazam! Damn it. Batman, are you all right? For the moment. What about Luthor and his men? Are they accounted for? In custody, everyone. What of Marvel? No longer a wild card. Unfortunately, he's still in Luthor's thralls. God help us. Take me to the cave. Now! Yet another side of you I'm not comfortable with. Get used to this one. A soldier unprepared has no business calling yourself a soldier. More Amazonian wisdom. Now, we get the introduction of her sword for the first time. Is it possible that we've already won the big fight? Once the riders are calm, we can instill... No! You were always a bit vulnerable to magic. Be careful. The sword was a gift from Hephaestus. It can carve the electrons off an atom. And you expect to use it? I expect to be a soldier. I will not sanction lethal force against a rider. I'm uneasy with the blade. Not all of us have heat vision. And there are lines we do not cross. We have rules, and the prisoners don't. That's why they're prisoners. And if they don't remain prisoners, your big blue marble teeters on the brink. You made the decision to incarcerate them for the good of mankind, remember? And maybe that was my mistake. Maybe I should have let the humans decide how to hear me. Send help. For God's sake, do you hear me? GL? We're in trouble. The fight at the Gulag's gone worse than expected. The prisoners have begun to breach the walls. They can't hold out much longer. They've killed Captain Comet, not Adam Strange. That was earlier. Captain Comet. No! Comet gone. Just like that. How could they? So, your world's finally turned completely topsy-turvy. How do we handle this? I don't know. Then I do. We're going to confront the president, give him an ultimatum. They must surrender. And if they refuse, then it's war. You can't have a war without people dying. And her lips brush with his with the sound of marble scraping steel. Is a kiss completely devoid of passion. It is a final farewell. This is one of my favorite Superman Batman moments.
Yeah.
I need your help. We've been through this already. Shut up! I don't have time for your holier than thou cracks. You're not above all this. No, and not now. Not when the stakes are this high. We're racing the end of the world, Bruce. I've got a half-second lead, but by all the stars in heaven, that's not nearly enough. The gulag's ready to blow. Yes. Oh, look, I love this. Look.
Yeah.
He's showing McCoy Norman that. Yes.
Yeah.
Even as we speak, Wonder Woman and the League stand outside its walls, ready to bring them down around everyone inside. Attention! This will be your only warning. Abandon your activities and surrender, or face the consequences. You mean to tell me you never imagined might come to this? Did you ever consider that a war might be for the best? That perhaps humanity's only chance is for the superhumans to swallow each other? Don't give me that. And the deliberate taking of human, even superhuman life goes against every belief I have and that you have. That's the one thing we've always had in common. It's what made us what we are, more than anyone in the world. When you scratch away everything away from Batman, you're left with someone who doesn't want to see anybody die. We can still intercede. Yeah. Gather your forces together. We could be the world's finest team. Tell me you'll help me. I will tell you this one thing. It's a player you haven't counted on. Captain Marvel. Marvel has been brainwashed severely. Once there was a good kid inside him, but he's been driven out. I don't know how you'd ever find him again. Marvel's headed for the gulag. He's going to break it wide open onto the Justice League. What do you expect me to do against? Well, that's what that feels like. So that's what that feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's also someone who doesn't want to see anybody die. That's pretty much also the whole, what I would like to say, that Batman is psychologically unable to commit murder.
Exactly. Without a word, my spectral guide opens all horizons to me at once. I see the air scorch in Superman's wake. I see the dawning horror in Wonder Woman's eyes. Crack-a-boom! I see Ragnarok at last unfolded. Oh God, they look terrifying! And worst of all, I see the desperate hopes of the one man who might yet stop it, turned to ash and cinders by a single bolt of lightning. Armageddon has arrived. And here we go. And this is the most terrifying Superman has ever looked, if you ask me. Would you agree?
Yeah, it also the phenomenon of is that fire from him or something that around him.
There were voices and thunderings and lightning and an earthquake. This was my dream. No more, no more. It's happening just as the visions foretold. Superman came too late. War has begun. Do something for the love of God. Make it stop. I cannot. I can take no action. Not yet. Why not? What in God's name has to happen? How much time must pass? There will be a reckoning, Norman McKay. Be prepared. As the scriptures say, fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. Is that the only reason I'm here? To watch some hideous judgment? Superman and I share the same terror. His face is a mask of confusion. He cannot comprehend how things come to this. And once upon a time, Captain Marvel was one of his mightiest allies. Damn it, Marvel, snap out of it. You can't do this. Too much is happening too fast. We have to work together. Now, and whatever wisdom he once possessed has been dulled by Luthor's brainwashing, making the captain a soldier of chaos, the one warrior who can counter Superman's every move and prevent him from containing the battle. Superman believes himself to be the only force on Earth powerful enough to end the superhuman war. He is wrong. Multiple megaton nuclear explosive held in reserve for just this moment. Take a good look at mankind's last hope. Capable of vaporizing a country sheathed in a force field, unbreachable by catalog metahuman powered deployment system, virtually undetectable. Now that's another member of the Blackhawks, by the way.
Yeah, I recognize the uniform.
Yep. All of our projections estimate that one will do the job. As Secretary General of this new United Nations, I am empowered to sanction the use of 3. 3 unacceptable. Surely kill civilians too. Risk of inflaming and insist on some other way. Listen to me and understand. There's no rationale about dispatching tactical nukes to the heart of our own country. But these are not rational times. We are at the flashpoint of human existence. My God, you can hear the battle even here. At any moment, it threatens to spread forth and engulf the world. What then? What then? And I don't blame him. I do not blame him.
Yeah.
The only way to ensure that... Wait, I just realized, you know what he almost looks like? The senator from Metal Gear Rising.
Another...
Does he look like him? He doesn't act like him, but he looks like him.
Yeah, not much, but
I'm gonna tell you, the balding head and the glasses and the big build.
Yeah, could be that
But
one of the visual inspirations.
Well, that came
maybe
after
maybe
this.
Armstrong was like taking from inspiration from multiple different sources, and this was one of them.
Maybe the only way to ensure that future generations remember this as humanity's final option is to ensure that there will be future generations after today. Let us strike while we can. Godspeed. And it pains him. He didn't want to do this. And I like that. I like how we see that he didn't want this. But he has no choice. Even in the brightest day, the dust of battle eclipses the sun itself. The prisoners released by Marvel's Thunderbolts strike out blindly. Wonder Woman's troops return force in kind. Both sides fight with abandon. Whatever heroic mores of combat might once have ruled them become nostalgic memories. This isn't a fight that will eventually die down. This is a forest fire that's just begun, a war that may well end the world. Any instant now, there will be fatalities and no way to turn back. With Superman deadlock, their only prayer of deliverance rests with a force from on high. And look at Batman smile!
Hasn't been a long time since he was in the field.
Yeah,
probably.
Batman's Legion soars in like a silent cavalry. Man or machine, each agent knows his mission. Stem the loss of life. Prevent the riot while there's still time to exert control. The sheer force of Batman's presence kindles a desperate ember of hope. Too late. And Diana did the first kill. He left me no choice. They began this. I will finish it. Did you see that? She killed him. She killed Von Bach. Get her! But to be fair, Von Bach was the worst of them.
Yeah.
Well, he was. They even said putting him in there was what made it worse.
Yeah, and was that Zatara?
Yeah, that was Zatara. Yeah. And we will finish it without you, Bruce. You're. Oh wait. Wait.
Yeah, it was.
Hold on. Something feels off.
Okay.
Oh, nope. Never mind. And we'll finish it without you, Bruce. Your people are out of their league. Why? Because we're here to save lives rather than take them. We're here to force peace. We're left with no choice. If you stand in the way, I will remove you. Force peace with the Amazon tenet. Spread love and understanding, but don't be afraid to bloody your knuckles doing it. Don't tell me you still subscribe to that paradox. I heard rumors that the Amazons relieved you of your duties and heritage for not being stringent enough. Face the truth, Diana. You won't win back your royal station by overcompensating. You aristocratic bastard! How dare you condemn me? I will not be judged by you. Do you hear me? Do you understand? After all these years, you have the nerve to swagger out of your cave and expect everyone to bow before your precious wisdom? Well, it's too late for that, Bruce. But Diana's completely in the wrong throughout most of this. She might have been right at the start, but now knowing her intentions, no, she was wrong.
Yeah, this is just...
Like, we tried to hold order, but it's too far gone. Our only option now is war. Only answer is... Oh. And notice, what does it look like? It looks like the birthing matrix.
Perkele, niin näyttää. Yeah, so it does.
Marvel, in the name of heaven, and wipe that empty smile off your face. You were a friend once. How can you do this? How? Look at the horror you've let loose. Damn it, say something for yourself. Shazam! 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 And this was the first time this was ever done, weaponizing his lightning like this. Shazam! Open your eyes, Diana. Your answer flies on metal wings. Those are nuclear carriers, the ultimate war bringers. A war is not one act of violence at the cost of some lives. Our war ends in extinction. If you're that devoted to the Amazon honor, if your soul generally longs for atonement on Amazonian terms, then let's keep fighting and let the planes do their work. Despite my spectral form, I feel the heat of Batman's lasers. I feel the strain of titanium muscle. I hear the whisper of a pilot begging forgiveness. God forgive me. No. After the sound of distant thunder, enough! Shazam! Doom! Enough! From one frozen instant, the storm clears. Fingers that can fuse coal to diamond crawl across human bone. And the hushed ears that can hear a cell divide, picking out the chilling ease of the scream of human rage. A wave of X-ray confirms the bomb's potency. Telescopic glance calculates the seconds before impact. You must act now. It is time. What? Judgment has come, Norman McKay. The hour tolls. Our entire journey has brought us to this moment. But the bomb will determine the fate of the world. If it drops, the superhumans will surely die, but humanity will be spared their violence. If not, they will live on to fight a battle that will in time swallow the earth. In either case, we face the evil of genocide. My task is to punish those responsible for evil. But who shall be held accountable? Who sins in this, the humans or the superhumans? Tell me, Norman. Judge. Me? Yours is the soul that guides me. How can I? There's no evil here. There's tragedy and bedlam, and Judge, carefully. I don't know what to do. You can see that, can't you? Every choice I've made so far has brought us here, has been wrong. Superman's palm spazzes around Batson's jaws, and Batson whimpers. The clock is racing. Like only moments remain from the blast. So listen to me, Billy. Listen harder than you ever have before. Look around us. Look what we've come to. There's a bomb falling, either to kill us or we run rampant across the globe. I can stop the bomb. I can still stop the bomb, Bill. That much I'm sure of. What I don't know is whether I should be allowed to. Superhumans or mankind. One will pay the ultimate price. And that decision is not for me to make. I'm not a god. I'm not a man. But you, Billy, you're both. More than anyone who ever existed, you know what it's like to live in both worlds. Only you can weigh their worth equally. Fight the brainwashing, Billy. You can let me go. Or with a word, you can stop me. Do you understand the choice that can be made by you alone? His tears answer for him. Then decide. Decide the world. And when he cries, Shazam. Seven thunders utter their voices. Seven sun. Shazam. Oh no, that's 6.
Yeah. Billy. Then there's
the exclamation point, but.
Ah.
But anyway. Shazam! Shazam! Shazam!
Okay, so Billy to back to Billy, back to Shazam, back to Billy. Okay, and then 3 times. Yeah, I just said first Shazam, back to Billy. Second Shazam, back to the Marvel, and the third Shazam, back to Billy again.
Mm-hmm. So you ended as Billy. Yeah, boom. Judgment. Oh, look at that. And then, oh, look at how many died. Just look at that.
Yeah, Blue Beetles.
Oh! Angry God. Would you agree? That's what that is. Angry God.
Yeah, that's anger.
Where, almost certainly to confront his human attackers, he feels completely alone. He need not. There were survivors. They are few in number, and their pain is great, but their war is over. Judgment has been passed. I am no longer needed. Farewell, Norman McKay. Farewell? Farewell? You think you brought me all this way just to watch people die? Think again. You want to confront evil? Then get us the hell to the UN. Now! You saw Superman. You saw an anger that could twist steel. If what happens next happens the only way it can, and you let it, that is evil. God in heaven, run! He's gone berserk! Ah, crap. Come on, we're just getting to the best part and to the good stuff. Look out! My God, the door! He's welded the doors! My God, he's bringing the roof down. He'll kill them all. Someone's got to do something. After 10 years, he's finally let free of wrath that would cower Satan himself. How can any man possibly calm the fury? He said he fell towards his persecutors. I can reach behind it. Do you really think he's mad at them? He's raging at himself. Let me talk to him now. Clark, don't. You blame yourself for Captain Marvel, for Magog and Kansas, for 10 years that ended today. Yes, you're angry, but in that anger, you're forgetting once more what humans feel, what they fear. They won't forgive you for this, Clark. Forgive yourself. Why are you here? To bear witness. Listen to me, Clark. Of all the things you can do, all your powers, the greatest has always been your instinctive knowledge of right and wrong. It was the gift of your humanity. You never had to question your choices in any situation, any crisis. You knew what to do. But the minute you made the super more important than the man, the day you decided to turn your back on mankind, that completely cost you your instinct. That took your judgment away. Take it back. If you want redemption, Clark, it lies in the very next decision you make. Make it as a man and make it right. Survivors? How? It's his dying breath. Captain Marvel managed to detonate the bomb high above ground zero. Thanks to that and the combined powers of Green Lantern and others, there were survivors. How many? Enough to leave us with the same problem as before. The same impasse, the same dangers, the same distrust, the same everything. But now we put things right. Years ago, I let those I swore to protect drive me away. We all did. And that was the day all of this began. We saw you as gods, as we saw ourselves, and we were both wrong. But I do no longer care about the mistakes of yesterday. I care about coping with tomorrow, together. The problems we face still exist. We're not going to solve them for you. We're going to solve them with you, not by ruling above you, but by living among you. We will no longer impose our power on humanity. We will earn your trust, using the wisdom one man left as his legacy. I asked him to choose between humans and superhumans, but he alone knew that was a false division and made the only choice that ever truly matters. He chose life. And in the hope that your world and ours could be one world once again. I love that, using his cape as the new flag for superheroes.
Funny, it's surprising that there was one extra
flagpole. Probably the United States flagpole. Or he grabbed it from somewhere else and shoved it in. Like time falls forward. Healing has begun. In the twinkling of an eye, great powers reconstruct a once stately manor into a hospital ward, patrolled by a man who traded black garbs for white. Under his watch, survivors ravaged by the effects of the bomb are nurtured and cared for, while those who help bring about the cataclysm suffer their own unique justice. Shazam! Shut up. Bones are set, burns are solved, and wounds are mended here and across the sea. Right. Oh, he spat, so he gets whacked. Like knock it off. Though and through her courage, the princess is at last granted her crown. No longer does she see herself as a failed student. She is a teacher whose work has just begun. Oh, new Oa is now recognized. Across the world, new roles are embraced. New alliances forged. After far too long a time, the gods have chosen to work with mankind towards a common good. I bet you that's where the heroes will stay now.
Yeah.
Only one works alone. Quite a memorial, as it should be. Not just for those claimed by the bomb, but for all those here who lost their lives to our mistake. Let them rest in peace, Cal. They'll only haunt you if you forget what they taught you. Speaking of which, what's this? A gift. A little something to help you see more clearly. Take care, Clark. Take care, Diana. Big plow!
Yeah.
But yeah, now Clark Kent has returned.
They should use the round spec glasses more than just be round glasses more than the actual square spectacles.
Yeah, all the sins have been exposed, Spectre. Tell me, in the end, who do you punish? And who is responsible for what has happened? No one needs to suffer any further for the tragedies we have witnessed, Norman McKay. Do not mock me. I'm not. I'm merely wondering, When you first appeared before me, you said you needed a human soul to be your anchor, and yet you yourself was once an ordinary man. Tell me, what would his perspective have been? An excellent question. Be well, Norman McKay. You have watched the Titans walk the earth, and you have kept stride. Perhaps you are more like them than you realize. You exist to give hope. Ah! Come on, we're almost done. And the Lord God sent his angels to show his servants, and so the crisis passes. There is no great celebration. There is too much pain to be forgotten, too much rebellion to master. But there is faith, and so though my vision no longer plague me, I preach the lessons they have taught me. That a dream is not always a prophecy. That the future, like so much else, is open to interpretation. And that hope is brightest when it dawns from fear. Grace be with you all. Amen. There's Corrigan. And then 1 year later, greetings, citizen. Smoking or no, non-smoking? Be nice, Clark. I love that. He's like, you can see how him be like, well, you don't find any of this unsettling. It's in the upbringing. I'm accustomed to seeing mortals pay tribute to the gods. It's not a church, Clark. It's a restaurant. Relax. So where is he? You're the one with X-ray vision. Did you look behind the giant penny? You didn't tell him, did you? Of course not. If it actually means seeing him surprised, who am I to hoard the moment? It's awfully crowded. You sure we won't be recognized? Hardly likely. In the first place, he wrote the book on secret identities. Just once. Ah, crap.
Oh yeah, that started.
Sorry about that. And in the second place, amidst all this tawdry bric-a-brac, I doubt they'd notice us if we were fighting the Legion of Doom in full costume. Clark, Diana. There you are. You snuck up on me. Hey, on me. How do you do that? It's good, and it's good to see you under better and brighter circumstances, Bruce. How are the boys? Dick's headed for a full recovery. Hibbins, well, Dick's daughter is consoling him. Maybe he'll turn around yet, if he can shed the elite lessons of the League of Assassins. What happened? That's what happens when you're raised by an isolated society of zealots. You end up a little brainwashed. Like, you don't say, may I bring you something to drink? Water's fine, and coffee, milk, and keep it coming. Tell me, of all the places of Earth and beyond, we could have met, why did you choose this? I didn't. I did. I was curious. The atmosphere is elevating and humbling at the same time. Some of us could always use a little more humility. Excuse me, are you? Yes. Using the ketchup? We've run out. Be my guest. Do I gather from your communique we have business? Like, we have something to settle, at least news to share. You and I haven't really spoken much since Captain Marvel. I love that, though. It's just like he thinks like they think he's recognized them. But it's like, are you using that ketchup?
Yeah.
But before we begin, I think it's appropriate to give a moment to those who fell in battle. We're long overdue. The past friends. Hi, I'm Robin. Of course you are. Are you ready to order? What do you recommend? And today's special is the Power Girl chicken sandwich. The cut, breast. I also recommend the Dial H for a hoagie. Dial H for hoagie. I'll have the giant turtle soup. And for you, do you serve anything like beef bourguignon? There's Starro the casserole. Fine. Steak, well done. Which? There's the manna beef. There's the steak, well done. The teaching must be effectively for you. It must be going efficiently for you. Can't remember the last time I saw someone destroy the Eiffel Tower on evening news. It's tough. If the experience of the Gulag showed us of anything, it's that students have to want to learn. Clearly, what we went through gave them plenty of incentive. And you, Clark, still doing your best to restore the agricultural balance? How do you make out with irradiated soil? We have no interest in growing 10-foot carrots as when we built the gulag. The ray was a big help in stripping the land of its radioactivity. Past that, it's simply a matter of hard work and patience. I imagine, and you can relate. It's been a long road to rehabilitation for the injured. Unfortunately, I'm not laboring alone. I was able to put several members of the Mankind Liberation Front to work in our ad hoc hospital. They're pulling their weight. Hey, Vandal Savage alone has picked up quite a few healing tricks in his 50,000 years. Oh, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have no trouble with the MLFs, inhibitor collars, and the rotaries once subdued. Even looser, not so much. I caught him down in the cave twice last month, trying to hack the computer. He sends his best. Really? No. I love how Clark is just like, really? Like, you can tell he's excited at the idea. Like, he sends his best. Really? No. That's not well done. Not a shade over medium. Miss, here and here. He's using his heat vision.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that's it. We could have compared resumes by phone. We're here solely to play catch up. Not exactly. We have something to announce. You're pregnant. How did you? Observation. For an ageless Amazon of perfect physique, you put on a pound or two. That was my first clue. There were others. My best to you both.
Body language too, when having something to announce while looking well.
Yep. I'm bringing another spectacular demigod into the world. Sorry if I stepped on your denouncement, princess. Always a detective. Now let's test your escape artistry. I want a commitment from you. I'd like you to be the child's godfather. What? Me? Look at that look. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, me? Uh-huh. I don't know what to say. Then the day is full of surprises. News to you, I take it? What is it when it comes to her? Hardly Athena's wisdom at work. Diana, my record as a parent isn't spotless. Bruce, I'll be the first to admit, I know little about fatherhood, but I do know this. There are things that the Batman can teach our child that Clark and I can't, that we would never even think of. Mark copy, sir? Oh, yes. But we're of such different schools. You and Clark, you rule by trust. I rely on fear. Then let's talk about what we're all most afraid of. Look at the lesson we just learned right now. And right now, the scales of the world power are balanced, but still too easy to tip. Our child, more than any other, will need the leveling influence of a mortal man who we can count on. To write about me, trust is the center of my world. I don't know if that makes me an expert on it, but I know I trust you. Despite our differences over the years, I always have. Ah! Come on, one more page! It's settled then. You realize you just handed me influence of the most powerful child in the world. I thought you agreed rather quickly. I'm sure we can work out some sort of shared custody. The baby probably shouldn't spend all of his time in seclusion with us. After all, we wouldn't want the child to be raised by an isolated society of zealots. Touché. Have you thought of giving it thought of a name? Bruce is good. Spinach and cottage cheese? That's the Spectre platter? Look at it this way. It's flattering to be remembered somehow. Bruce. And Bruce, still with us? Sorry, just wandering for a second. The child of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. Imagine what kind of kid she'll be. Battle for truth, justice, and a new American way. I could hardly wait to see it for myself. Let's go home and dream about the future. What do you think?
There is a lot to think about.
But a phenomenal story still, nonetheless.
Yeah,
right?
that it is. It is. The art alone here is pretty much what someone should
realism,
go through
but not too realistic. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's kind of also looking at how well these are drawn. Why has no movie after this to try to replicate these kinds of costumes?
I don't know. I really don't. But seriously, this is there's a reason why this is a classic. Would you agree with that? Like, there's a reason this is so fondly remembered. Because, you know, it's set a good standard for everything. It's considered one of the best Superman stories because it is. Superman is the heart of it.
Yes.
Superman is the absolute heart of it. But I love the complexities of this story. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Like, this is beyond complicated.
Yeah, there's the whole, how do you put it? There's the ways of yesteryear.
The heroes of yesteryear.
Yeah, the everyone of the how the new generation has been raised to be on their own, or some of them by their other influences, and then there's finding the compromise between both of them in going forward.
Exactly. And again, the fact that so many heroes died, so many had to die for this to get to this place. And as Batman said, though, there's still enough for it to be a problem. Again, there's just so much to talk about with it. Just so much. It's just this was a story that was needed. And I gotta say, I wish more people would take from this book than just the characters.
Yeah.
If you ever know that, that's all they take from it is just the characters of, oh, this is a future setting. That's it. No one seems to take the lessons learned.
That's kind of sad in a way.
Everyone from Dark Knight Returns, from Watchmen, but not this.
Yeah,
it's the characters.
It's also kind of sad to think about if this were to get an adaptation, how much would be cut out in
Norman McCay
stay on the runtime? That would be a mistake.
That would be a mistake. I think that's probably why they haven't adapted it, because there's too much in this. More than Crisis, there's too much. Not only that, though, but the artwork. You ain't never going to top Alex Ross's artwork onto animation.
Try to replicate it in animated form is going to be just.
Like I say this, going over this, I could see how Gunn could build up to this. If he's doing that in the DCU, I could see how the world can build up to Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
This whole idea of humanity and the superheroes. I mean, having the authority exist already, you can show it's a parallel. Can we agree to that? The authority are a parallel in, well, okay, not the Warren Ellis, but the Mark Millar authority is definitely a parallel to how the superpower characters were treated here.
Yeah.
He's told, don't care about people getting in the way.
Yeah, so let's go with that.
I mean,
if that's what Gunn is not going to do, I'm patiently letting him do that and waiting for it to be when it goes while being busy with other stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, what did you like best about this story besides the artwork? I mean, the story itself.
No, it's also I have, like you said as previously when I have last I read it. I don't remember when it was, but I do remember some cases. I have, like most old comics in youth, try to read this with some voices in every character. For some reason, I don't remember why, but the only one that I remember right now is Christopher Lee as McKay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Christopher Lee as Magog, you mean? Oh, McKay. No, McKay. Norman McKay. Christopher Lee, really?
I don't know why.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird one because he doesn't come up as this with his imposing voice or anything like that.
It's kind of, I don't know what it is, but it's supposedly there's all a different emotion that can be carried here and there. Maybe I had a more big imagination on those times when I did it, or it was someone who sounded like Christopher Lee. But I'm trying to recall that voice I heard for him back then. But it's something similar to it. Maybe it was just Cory Burton in some version.
Maybe, but still, though, just again, throughout this whole story, it has just been an incredible, journey, seeing how they got from A to B to C to D, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is one way to actually show a good story structure, that you can go from the beginning through Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and then the climax is pretty much there. Actually,
exactly.
You could use actually the Kingdom Come and the way how it's split in 4 issues as a way how to tell a story. The opening, how it starts, the rise of action, how that goes in the second one.
Yeah, because everything was just so natural.
Yeah. Then in the third issue, it's pretty much how the status quo is turning out and it being challenged and leading up to the climax. And the final issue is then the climax and the cool time period after the climax.
Exactly. And like I said, there's no, as McKay put it, there's no bad guy here.
Yeah, those are interesting stories where you don't have a bad guy.
It's everything has led up to this. It's through everyone's mistakes, everyone's choices.
Yeah. A house of cards that got that fault.
Let's be honest. Superman was wrong. Superman was completely wrong throughout this book. Would you agree with that? Superman was not right at all at anywhere in this book. But he was more right than Wonder Woman, though.
Yeah, he was still more or less in the man of yesteryear in that sense. That he tried to use the old ways to show an example. Rather
than looking at the world and... Now, I'm not saying that he should have changed with the world. I do not agree with that.
Yeah. And also putting some of the metahumans into the gulag and having them be... You could say that he was putting them aside over... putting them aside... He put them aside...
So they can deal with them. He was hoping that they would listen, but they have no respect. Why would they, right?
Yeah.
Why should they listen? And why should they,
No, it would be something that they would want to be forced into against their will. Like Diana said in the epilogue, it's just people need to want to be taught in order to get
person. You can't force it. And that was the problem throughout this. They were forcing everything for good reason. We can't deny that, right? Like, their reasoning was good, but their tactics were horrible.
Yeah.
I also like how Superman realized he was wrong. Because he realized that the Gulag's ready to blow. Like I say, one thing I did like best, Billy being the guy with a foot in each world. I love that. Out of all of them, he truly is the only one.
Yeah, it also actually trying to think and look at it. You also need to remember what was the status quo for Billy and Shazam in general back in the 90s. Besides the fact that he was still allowed to be called Captain Marvel back then.
Yes, he could still be called Captain Marvel. Remember, the Shazam thing didn't become in universe a thing until
the New 52.
Until New 52, yeah. But but throughout all of this introduced so much. This built up so much. The art was incredible. There's a reason why this is considered one of the best DC comics ever made. For good reason. You know what I mean? Because you look at it, you watch it, and not watch it, you read it, and you understand it. This is Mark Waid, one of Mark Waid's best, and this is a case where I don't blame him for going back to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do. Yeah. Although making a direct sequel was a mistake.
Yeah, Thy Kingdom Come is a...
No. Just Kingdom and just the Kingdom. Thy Kingdom Come wasn't even a sequel. It was an interlude.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that was the JSI storyline. Yeah, sorry.
The JSA
I mistook it for that, yeah.
Yeah. That's the one. Thy Kingdom Come is the one where...
the Kingdom was kind of like a direct sequel done a little too soon.
And it introduced the hyper time. Which I love, but we'll get to that eventually. But you have Thy Kingdom Come. You have the stuff in World's Finest. You know what I mean? I just really like that. And again, It's all, if you notice, they always focus either on Superman or Magog. Rightfully so, because Magog is an interesting character. Let's be honest, what he represents. Yes, he represents, if you notice, he looks like Cable in a lot of ways.
You
know, robotic arm and eye.
Yeah, and instead of a gun, he has a huge melee weapon.
Yeah, a big stab that still shoots.
That still shoots projectiles, yeah.
And he wore pouches on him.
You
know, that made up his vest.
Let me check out that design again.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to check something.
Joo, okei. Missä se on? Meistä kohon kyllä. Why is this one panel the only one that shows him properly in profile? Yeah. Okay, I can see it. Yeah, pouches and whatever this is called.
I'm back. You see what I meant?
Yeah, I see. And like I just said, why is this the only proper image of Magog that shows?
Good question. Good question. But if you know, though, his vest is pretty much pouches.
Yeah, pouches and whatever this is called.
Yeah. A bandolier, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, but again, you have all these interesting, great character designs. Look how many of those have been utilized, right?
Yeah. Also, it kind of symbolic that Alex Ross used the same face for Magog and Superman.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. But
the trade also had this apocrypha part where for showing some kind of what was it?
Right.
Some kind of character bias for Spectre, Norman, Superman.
But you, Spectre. What did you think about Spectre throughout all of this? Him and Norman. This is definitely one of the definitive Spectre stories.
Yeah, it's something to say that it was a kind of patient and mellowed instead of who. Usually, when they have used Spectre in other stories, he has observed a crime happening, and when he knows who's guilty, he just charges and does the punishment.
Like I say, the fact he asked Norman to make a judgment, but then Norman didn't say anything, so he's like, judgment's been passed. It's like, what was the judgment?
Yeah, there was
That's the one part I never got. That is the one part.
It was like every party was guilty of having played a part leading up to the explosion.
My guess is Norman's decision of not saying anything was to the Spectre his answer. Basically, let Superman fly off and take out humanity. You want to bet?
Well, could be. Maybe that could be it. Or it could be something that everyone who played a part in leading up to this, the events of the explosion there. You could say that everyone was guilty, and so that ended up nullifying the whole punishment aspect of it.
Maybe. Then what was the point of having Norman there? But I did love how Norman was the one to talk Clark down, and rightfully so, because Clark, he was beyond pissed for good reason, but he was angry at himself.
Yeah, because there was something that he leaving for 10 years. He allowed it all to get there.
Because and I think one thing I love about this is basically this is where you let the super dominate the man. And I will say this. This is one of my go-to examples of not him losing his humanity, but still the problem of what happens when he forgoes Clark Kent. Would you agree with that? When you look at everything in his actions here.
Yeah, I can because as it goes too. Most of the time when Superman's morals get compromised somehow, it's always because Clark Kent is not there.
Exactly. Or he just let him go.
Yeah. Could be say that he wanted when when the Daily Planet was attacked, even if they probably didn't find his body, he would probably want to think Clark Kent died along with everyone else.
Exactly. And yeah, just throughout all of this, you look at everything here. Everything, and you just realize, wow, this just meant so much, to with everyone involved. In fact, I'm going to bring up right now, just a sec, there we go. The JSA special. I just want to show that. The one that Alex Ross both wrote and drew.
Oh.
I just love how this fills in so much. And the fact that this is his first time doing true penciling.
Oh.
Not loose penciling. But yeah,
it was...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, this was kind of the whole thing that between the explosion.
Yes, basically the explosion happened. He saw his world was destroyed.
Yeah, he was just sent to New Earth.
Yep. And oh boy, I love how for a moment he thinks the same things just happened again.
Oh.
And I like this. And he may have was Norman here, but this is a different version of Norman. And I love it. He brings up about, the word. I love it. Like, that doesn't sound like me. I don't get around much as I used to. Now that I'm retired, you caught me on the right day. But look how Lois looks here. Beautiful.
Yeah.
But this is where we get to fill in the gaps of what would happen to his Lois. I love that. She put a gas mask on and tried to stop him. That I loved. Because everywhere else implied she just went down like a bitch. Well, I hate to say that. That was one downside with the original Kingdom Come. Was just the implication that Lois just went down with everyone else. It's like, no, here, this makes it more tragic.
Yeah, and Superman was crime. He wasn't there when it happened, but he showed up too late to
stop it. I mean, Joker got away. Yeah, he was able to stop.
He caught the Joker. That was different because it said that the Magog claimed that.
Yeah. I thought you'd get to him first. You're right. But yeah, the whole your skull. It's like, oh God, no, honey, your head is. I can't even move you safely. I really did it this time, didn't I? Lois, the fracture is. I don't think I could do anything to repair it. You saved me so many times. Please, God, no. I'm sorry I couldn't give you a... No, don't say it. Lois, I love you so much. Thank you for loving me. I love you. Lois, I'll get him. I'll hurt him. No, please don't cross that line. Don't change who you are. Not now. Not ever. Lois, don't lose Clark. And then, if that's what he said, like, Clark Kent died that day. Look at Shazam here.
Yeah.
Like I say, this was also very great, wasn't it? Just to fill in the gaps on everything.
Yeah, it also properly explained how why he didn't go to. You could actually probably say that while he was here with Lois, you could say Magog. This is where Magog got to the Joker.
Well, he was right in the middle of doing that. Yeah, and then Superman showed up just as he blasted him.
Yeah. Oh, so there's one thing that it's actually kind of.
Actually, no. It says here, but before then, when I arrived at the planet, so this is before he captured him. But yeah, again, I always say I do like how to imply about the long hair stuff. He gave him a ponytail.
Yeah, I was just looking up here.
During the flashback at the trial. Yeah, the ponytail. That was a nod to the long hair.
Oh, that would have been sad to think. Because that would imply that he kept the long hair after coming back from the dead. So this would imply that he had just come back from the dead, rain had just happened, and he loses Lois immediately after it.
Exactly.
They didn't even get married.
That's the implication, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows exactly what all that? But again, throughout all of this, it's just so very damn good. This whole world. There's a reason why this world is so fruitful. You know what I mean? But again, but one thing I wanted to show is just with his art style, because look at this. We actually see all of that, even on this. I don't get why he's been doing that lately. I just don't. You know what, though? I have a feeling people haven't complained that much because they're not doing what we're doing. Here we go. Look at this behind-the-scenes stuff. See, there's him getting the trait, though, the artwork. Like, that's his original Superman model.
Yeah, works for the older Superman. Yeah.
Yep. Going from pencil to inks was his first experiment. Yeah, he's never gone from pencils to inks. He's always gone from pencils right to his artwork. Look at that.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's kind of hard to even.
It's
one of the reasons why I haven't, even for myself, it's also kind of hard. The pencil star phase, that's fine, that's great.
His pencils are incredible on his own.
The inking process on itself. Then for some reason, you can make as many mistakes you can while you're doing the pencil stage, but then with the inking, one mistake and the whole picture is.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, wait, I gotta go back to it. Look at the Spectre. His eye. I think that means that's really Spectre there, keeping an eye on things.
Probably. That's good implication.
But again, this Superman, there's a reason why this is a complicated Superman. I still say this is one of the best Supermen. When handled well by people who understand things.
Yeah. Kind of hard to feel that.
Because this is also one that's easy to
versions and death metal both had him for the bad guy's side.
Coerced is one thing, but working for them by willingly, no. Because he's not a bad guy. Now, to be fair, though, it depends on when they got him. If they got him, if this was to be a take of him like right after the nukes went off, I could see him joining the bad guy side. You know, before Norman McKay calmed him down.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Like, you could see that.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's also another aspect of do more older Superman stories. Like,
yes,
the Battle of the Super Sons and Superman and Lois, those were like, keep hammering the iron while it's still hot, but no, let's do a young Superman again with my adventures.
But yeah, again, this really set the standard for the older Superman. More so than any of the other times we've seen it before. Because this is a Superman who's been through a lot. And again, throughout all this, he is... Now, of course, I actually did like how Mark Waid in World's Finest would actually have Superman feel like, you let this happen! You've done this! You're the problem here! I like seeing that mainstream Superman feel that way about his counterparts. Makes sense, don't you say? Especially when it's supposed to be a younger Superman. You gotta remember that. World's Finest Superman and Batman are younger. This is when Dick Grayson's still Robin younger.
Yo.
So for him to lash out at Kingdom Come Superman makes sense. When I see modern Superman,
younger and optimistic, who has not gone through
as much. Yeah. But again, the lash out saying like, "You look at what your world has done. Look what you did to David. You corrupted David." I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Now, David becoming what he is, once you know he was Magog, it makes sense. Because again, look at what Magog did. Rather than let the parasite stop, he killed it. And he decided, let's go overkill. You know, things like that. It's just, it's the world. And again, this whole notion that this is what the people wanted. I hate to say it, that matches the 90s. That matches nowadays.
Yeah.
How many times do we have people who act like, we want heroes that could just take the law into their own hands?
Yeah, it's not just kind of find some proper middle ground. Don't have it be too much of the old ways, and don't have to too much on the. Don't have it have like both extremes fighting each other. Have it be somewhere in the middle. Both meet in the middle.
I think what's so funny about your Justice America way put it best. You don't want Superman who's willing to just willy-nilly kill.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
it could be said that the Manchester Black sees Superman being all the way into the ways of yesteryear while he is over there. So
Manchester Black fit perfectly in this world. Would you agree with that?
Hard to come closer to the middle in order to properly respond.
So that's the other thing.
And so also pull Manchester Black closer to the middle too, so that Philip Kennedy Johnson's run pretty much also went too.
Yeah, exactly. This is a super case where the fact is that modern Superman was able to meet things better because he didn't lose Lois or anything. He was able to give a better response than Kingdom Come Superman could have. Is that a good way of looking at it? Like, he was able to meet them at the right point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's Kingdom Come. One of the best DC Comics, period. I would put this in my top 10. Definitely.
Yeah.
Where would you put it?
It's probably there too. I need to probably make some kind of. I should probably take some of the comics I own and those that have not been turned into adaptations and just do a kind of that kind of tier list.
Yeah, but yeah, and then I wouldn't mind you going you and I going over both The Kingdom. Then we can even do Thy Kingdom Come, and we can do the World's Finest story.
Ooh, that
should be what we do next. Then going forward.
Yeah, let's do a roadmap there.
Yeah, so we'll do The Kingdom next. Then we'll do Thy Kingdom Come. And then finally, the World's Finest Kingdom Come story, because I mean, there's some other
David Origin and Kid Thunder story, and then the
the Kid Thunder. We got to do the Kid Thunder story first, then that, because you can't have one without the other.
Yeah,
but so we'll go over. I also love how these stories don't contradict anything, really. Well, to a degree, but anything. The kingdom gets more contradicted than anything else because, for one, the kingdom, we see Power Woman there, but then when we look at Thy Kingdom Come, it's made clear Power Girl died from the bomb.
Yeah.
But that bothered me. What Power Girl should not have died from the bomb.
Yeah, that's kind of stuff.
But again, thank you, Pika. Thank you, everyone else, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
And may your heart be a guiding game.
We are